to the other side of this equation. So, as I mentioned, we've traded up in the first round a few times. Traded up to get Jair Alexander. That worked out pretty
Yep.
well in our favor, I think.
We love Jay.
He's awesome. Traded up for Jordan Love. He hasn't played, but I'm hopeful he'll be really good. And there's some good guys in this draft. I think this draft's going to be special with the amount of talent that's there, especially in the top 10 to 15 players. So, Nick, do you think the Green Bay Packers should trade up in this draft? And how high would you be willing to go?
So, once again, this is more of a draft day decision. See how it's panning out, seeing if there's hey, that guy's still available. Let's see if we can get him. See what the price would be. For the question, should we trade up? Yes, I think if there's a guy that we really, really think is going to help us get those 2 games we keep talking about that we need to win, 2 more games to win that Super Bowl, then yeah, we should trade up, and he might be a little expensive, but if the price is there, we get him. And for how high we trade up, nothing top 10. I'd say between 12 all the way to 20, honestly. I'd say in that range is where we trade up. Probably not in the middle of that. So maybe there's a guy okay, let's get him at 12, 13, or 14. Or if there's another guy all right, he's still available at 18. Because when you're at 29, which is what we have, if we were to trade that for another team that wants to trade up, we'll probably get their second rounder and then a 4th rounder and a future pick or something. But when you're getting up to 15, 14, 13, 12, those are much more expensive picks.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
There was something that came out, and the Packers have said it's fake, but it was the Packers are offering Jordan Love their 1st rounder and a 4th rounder in order for the 15th pick to the Patriots. And this was something that leaked out of the Packers, out of Lambeau Field offices and stuff, but they came out and said no, we're not doing that. And I don't think they would do that before draft day because it would be really interesting. I don't know who they'd be oh, he's going to be there at 15 for sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of a draft day decision. But yeah, I would be interested in trading up if there's a guy that the Packers know can help us win the Super Bowl with the team we have right now.
Is there any guys that you think have that potential to slide into a roster and be that big of a difference maker?
So yes, we've talked in the past about no wide receivers in the 1st round, but Jaylen Waddle in the teens, I think would be a steal. And I don't think he'll be there, but if he's there, that as a choice for Aaron Rodgers to throw to, that's another weapon that we'd finally get. And that weapon would be a big deal, and that is a threat on the field, and it'll help clear up Davante Adams. It'll help Aaron Jones in the backfield. Just having another big name on the field, and I think Jaylen Waddle could possibly be that guy. Also, there's some really good tackles who are supposed to go between
top 10.
Yeah, they're supposed to go top 10, but if they're there in the teens, we need to get a tackle. We've talked about getting Tevin Jenkins. He'll obviously be there when we were picking at 29. But if there's one of those top 2 tackles still available, let's go get them if the price is right. And then obviously there's Kyle Pitts, who's just a freak of athleticism. He's not going to be there. But if he's there, I don't think we're going to be able to get him because someone else will trade up for him because he's just anyone would take him, honestly. He's just very athletic. And then, so those are the early teams, those people I'm talking about. Later, around 18, 19, 20, there's a linebacker by the name of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and he'd be a good pick. He's not going to be there at 29, most likely, but he could be there in the early 20s, and if the Packers want him, go get him.
Yeah, so I guess the first guy, Waddle. Now, I'm with you, trading up a lot for a receiver, that'd be a tough pill to swallow. That'd be a hard sell for the front office, I think. But when I think of Waddle, I see a younger Tyreek Hill, at least that's just me, with his game-breaking speed, his agility and twitchiness and quickness, those things, you see burners like Henry Ruggs, you see the John Rosses, you see the Darius Hayward-Bays. Those guys can only run in a straight line. Jaylen Waddle can change direction and just, go 0 to 100 with his speed. His speed's game-breaking, and he's a menace in the slot. And I can only imagine Waddle and Davante Adams.
And Rodgers.
and Rodgers. I'm just talking about just
Yeah.
skill positions. Waddle, Devontae Adams, Bobby Tunyon, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon. I mean, that would be nuts. And we keep talking and harping about, the ability to get a speed guy. They need someone who's explosive that can make something out of nothing. He can do exactly that. I mean, he can go for 80 yards on any given play. He is that special. He is that fast. He's that quick. I think he'd be awesome. I think tackle would be another position where if they traded into like 12, 13, I would be totally cool with taking Rashawn Slater there and just having him be the right tackle and just sitting there for the next, 8 years, hopefully, because he looks special. He is really refined, great technique. He would have to play right tackle. He could play tackle or guard, so like we'd be fine on that.
Which is what the Packers like, guys who can play all over.
Yep, Elton Jenkins and Billy Turner can both do that. So that'd be another guy to the mix. And yeah, like those two guys would be awesome, or those two positions. I mean, I don't think Devonta Smith or Jamar Chase will be there, but if Waddle's there, yeah, I'd say go get him. My only thing is I would be vintage future first rounder trading an extra. Basically, if you did that, you'd be spending 2 firsts on Waddle. Now, I think he's really good.
I don't think he's worth 2 firsts.
Yeah, that's where it comes into question. Like, okay, if you trade up to like 13, you're trading 2 first rounders, and that would be a lot. Now, I'm saying if you can trade a second and then a future third and fourth or something like that, do that. But just don't give away a first like that. And then keeping a few later round picks is always important, just filling out the roster and stuff.
We have a lot of picks this year.
We do. We have an extra 4th, 5th, and 6th. So we have picks to spare. It just comes to the question, if they're there, will we do that? As long as we don't give up a first, I'm fine with it.
And if they're there, I would definitely prefer Rashawn Slater over Jaylen Waddle, honestly. I think a tackle is more valuable in the first round and more worth it if we're going to be spending that much. But I wouldn't be too upset with Waddle. I just don't think that's for sure the move because there's so many wide receivers and we'll be able to get one later. We can get one second round. It's not worth it to spend. If the price is right, it's there. But I don't know if the price is going to be right for Jaylen Waddle.
I'm with you. I would rather have Slater. Will he be at 12? No, I don't think he will be. This is more of a if the guy slides type of thing because I think Slater's going 8 to the Panthers, but he would be awesome. And then, Waddle, you could argue, like, is Terrace Marshall better value if you wait till you get there so you don't have to spend extra? But I think Waddle in our offense would it would be unfair having to guard him and Devontae Adams on the same team. So, yeah, that would be trading up. Any more thoughts, Nick?
No, I'm just the last thing, honestly, is this. The price has to be right. Like, even if that player's there, even if a player slides, it still might not be worth the price. We got to make sure that price is right.
Yeah, you can't spend. That's just a losing recipe. Trading too much. But